It's only 11 something, but why does it feel like it's 2 something? We just vibing, we just crazy, baby.
What's up YouTube, it's Cralisa Victoria. I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm just going to be giving you guys just some tips on buying a home. So, first things first, if you're new to my channel, thanks for tuning in. I'm Cralisa Victoria, and if you've already been subscribed, then thanks for coming back. Y'all are faithful. So basically in this video, you guys know that I just made a couple other videos. I decided that making this video at this time would probably be appropriate just because I was actually working on a few things when it came down to property. So let's first talk about renting. Okay, so as a renter, you are not owning anything. You're paying rent to someone and you're not really seeing the benefit of what you're paying, because think of it like you have a cup and the cup has a hole on the bottom, but you keep pouring the pitcher of water and it's falling out the cup. There's nothing being saved. It's empty. That's the same thing when you rent versus own. Now, I want to bring this topic up specifically because these are real life scenarios that I'm dealing with right now as it pertains to property. So when it comes down to renting, yes, you know, expenses that might come with a home or a condo or an apartment is typically taken care of by either the owner or the apartment complex maintenance team will come and they will take care of all of your issues. When you own, you're responsible for the upkeep of your properties. So some people might like the fact that, oh, I have somebody to take care of everything that could break, anything that could happen. And some people love that. Other people are like, okay, that's a risk. Even though the risk is not falling on me, I still much rather have my own property. And risk or not, like, the thing about it is, I doubt every day you're going to have an issue in your house that breaks or needs to be fixed or whatever. It will be here and there that things would happen and you would have to come out of pocket. So you have to ask yourself, with a situation being like that, is it really that much that maintenance will be doing for you opposed to what you could be doing for yourself if you were owning? Let me talk to you guys who are renting because you just don't really understand that having that asset and having a property is better. If you are in a boat with wonderful credit, a great job, you've been on your job, all of that, you know you want to be where you're at, location is great, everything. Stop being fearful and just step out and do it. Because you have those people who say, well, I'm in the boat to be able to buy or purchase a home, but I'm just going to keep renting. If you do the math, like really do the math, if someone is spending like, let's say, $1,000 a month in rent, that's $12,000 a year. That's in 5 years, $60,000. Think about if you bought a $100,000 condo. Well, within those 5 years, you've already pretty much paid $60,000 of that loan, 60% of it, where you got $40,000 left to go ahead and just pay as you would continue in rent for that. So you can be owning one in the same time frame of 5 to 10 years as you would be renting for 5 to 10 years. Why not own something that you could literally get to a place where you're only paying taxes and the maintenance on the home? Who wouldn't want that? To be able to only pay the annual taxes and maintenance, never having to pay a mortgage. Who doesn't want that? It might be tough in the beginning to get through that hurdle of yourself telling you like, oh, I can't do this, or oh, situations might happen, I'm not going to do it. But just think about the long term. Think about longevity. Think about generational wealth. Think about having that property for your kid, maybe when they grow up, or your grandchild. Just think like that. Now, for my people who are renting due to credit being a problem, things like that, when you start that new lease, that's 12 months of getting your credit together. That's literally, if you have a $1,000 credit repair situation you got to take care of and you're not going to use somebody to repair your credit, you want to just do your own disputing, you want to do your own payoffs, and you want to get your disputes and things, and you want to get things removed off your credit, and you just so happen to be knowledgeable and wise about credit, great. Maybe you'll start setting up payment plans. You have some people who say, if you pay the whole debt, we'll remove it. And some people will say, well, if you pay partial, we're going to keep it on there. Then you dispute because of statute of limitation or 7 years or whatever. Those are different circumstances. You should be using your rental period to get into that home. So these are the people who are renting because they have to fix credit and save money to own. Another thing, outside of renting, let's talk about closing costs and things like that. When you get ready to purchase a home, you got to think about down payment, you got to think about PMI, you got to think about closing costs, you got to think about so many things associated with it. So many people think, I'm going to go into this deal and I'm just going to basically need to just have my credit together. No, newsflash. You literally need to understand PMI, you need to understand, like closing costs, and you need to understand down payment, all of that type of stuff, because you will then see that the estimate of what you're going to need versus what you already have is going to be greater than what you think. So definitely plan for that. So think about that. When you're fixing your credit and doing all that stuff, you should also be saving. Debt to income is one of the biggest things that people face when they're trying to buy a property. You need to be lowering that debt to income ratio. If you know you're in the market for a home, don't go inquiring about new items. Don't go getting new loans. Don't go getting new responsibilities. Don't do anything like that other than help yourself by reducing your debt to income and all of the things that can assist you in getting the home. I'm thinking of some other things. My foot is like asleep. I would say another thing. Let's see, because we're talking homes. I'm thinking about circumstances right now. Understanding that if a home is not priced properly based on, like what's going on in the market, or it is not staged properly to look well, within 30 days, if that home doesn't sell, it's either overpriced or it's just not staged properly. So for you sellers, bite the bullet, pay the money to get it listed right. Pay the money to, do that stuff, to make your home presentable, to get nice photos when it's time for your photos to be posted on, the MLS or different things. You guys don't want to be taking these pictures with these cell phones that are just not quality pixels, and your images look blurry, or the background's just terrible, or you didn't capture the right angle. Get a paid professional. Or if you're going to do it yourself or whatever for cost efficiency, then just make sure you do your best. But please, if you can invest in a photographer, invest in a photographer, because that also is going to help your situation. For the people who are not coming to the showings, they're going to want to be able to look at some images and say, okay, that makes me want to go look. So you can't be cheap on yourself. You can budget, but don't just be outright cheap, because you'll be wondering, why is my house on the market for 6 months? And shout out to that realtor if they even stay there with a home on the market that long, because they're going through some things with you. Do not be a difficult seller at all. Like if you could just work with the realtor wants to work with you. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know we're in your best interest. But certain things, when they tell you like what the comparative market analysis is, because we cannot really tell you like what the appraised value is of your home, because we are not appraisers. Some people are appraisers and they can do that. But what we do is give you that comparative market analysis and just tell you what the market value of these homes are selling for, what they've sold for, what they are currently active for, and things like that. And then that helps us price point where you could potentially get your home sold for based on, the different things that, like the subject properties and all of that stuff and the comparatives and things like that. We're not just sitting here giving you low numbers because we just want to be anal. We're giving you the numbers that are going with the market. So if your realtor tells you that you probably can sell your house for $150 and they've probably done a comparative market analysis for you, and you say, well, I want $200,000, please understand that they're not just making up a number because they do or do not like you. They are letting you know what is happening in the market. and they are just trying to give you a ballpark of where you're probably more likely going to sell. Okay? Please don't have unreasonable wishes, because your house will be sitting on the market and you will be looking like. Just listen to them. They are the expert, and you are just listening, and you are, of course, entitled to your own opinion, but they are really looking out for your best interest. Okay? So don't think that they're going to lowball you, because lowballing you is also lowballing them. So just never think that your realtor is going to give you the lowest on the market to like spite you, because in the end of the day, it affects them too. If you're going to an open house and these are just random topics, real estate topics. If I'm taking you to go see some homes, I'm doing some showings or whatever with, a client, please understand, first of all, you need to be pre-approved or pre-qualified. You're not getting in the car with me, or you're not going to properties with me if you're not pre-qualified or pre-approved. That's on period. Because I need to know what your purchasing power is, and so do you. You do not want to be looking at homes $500,000 when your maximum purchasing power is $400,000. That's going to, one, disappoint you because you're not going to be able to get within your price range, and two, it's going to waste your time and my time by going and looking at homes that are not even within your ballpark. And three, it just will tell us if you are qualified or not qualified at that moment to get a home. Some people think that, oh, I'm going to get a house, I can afford this. It's not based on what you think you can afford unless you're going to be coming in with cash. It is based on what risk or what risk the banks are willing to take on you. What they're going to look at all your history and figure out, is she going to be a good candidate to get a mortgage? Is she not? Or blah, blah, blah. So those are definitely important. Be pre-qualified, be pre-approved, and it continues. Also, if you are already in the market, you've been pre-approved, been pre-qualified, that tells me that you are ready. And if you are ready, you need to have the mindset in every home that we walk in, you captured a glimpse in your head of what you do and you do not like about it. Because in the end of the day, when the process of elimination comes, you need to remember every home. You need to remember every detail about what you did and did not like. I don't care if you take out a list. I encourage people, write it down. Write the perks that you found. In the beginning, you need to have a wish list. That wish list needs to have about 3 to 5 things that you actually must have in the house. Like must-haves. Like some people need, must-have high ceilings. They must have a lot of lighting. They must have tile floors. Whatever those must-haves are for you, you need to write about 3 to 5 of them to ensure that that's what's in these homes that you are going to spend your top dollar on. Purchasing a home is one of the most largest purchases in your life that you will ever do. So it is important to find what you want, but you have to go in prepared, because you might go see 5 houses today and you might think all those homes are great, and tomorrow they all can be sold because somebody else thinks like you, like this is a wonderful house, or maybe it's priced lower and you're like, we could put this work into it and it would be better. People think like you. If you think it's a good deal, so does somebody else. So being prepared with a pre-qualification or pre-approval letter is going to get you ahead of the mark already. And then secondly, knowing what you do and do not like about every property you've seen. And then third, finding the ones that you're ready to place an offer for and you're ready to go after and you're ready to secure and get. That's what is going to be set you apart from other people. If you can walk into a home and say, this is the one, I know for sure this is the home that I want to be in. You know what we can do? Write up an offer and submit it right then and there. But if you're not so certain and you need to think about it, go home. Time is of the essence. Urgency is important. You can't be waiting 6 days and then saying, let's put in an offer, because at that time the house could be off the market. You want to be witty, be quick, be ready, so that you can get what you want. What other topic do we want to cover? Open house. When you're coming, if a realtor asks you, are you working with a real estate agent or realtor or whatever, If you're not working with a realtor, just say no. If you're working with a realtor, literally working with a realtor, then say, yes, I'm working with a realtor. Do not try to play your realtor against the realtor at the open house. Because in the end of the day, we have, I can't even get my words out, a fiduciary responsibility to you all, to owe you loyalty and things like that. And it will be a conflict of interest to have two realtors working with you. So we need to solely work with you. You know what I mean? So like if I ask you if you're working with an agent and you tell me yes, then that's the end of that. If you tell me, well, I told her I'm not going to work with her anymore because I wanted someone else, then you're off the market. But do not try and go back and forth between a couple agents, because you don't want to waste their time, don't want to waste your time, and then you don't really want that conflict of interest. Also, fill out the when they have the open house, when we have open house sheets to fill out your information, please fill that out. Sometimes raffles are taking place. Sometimes properties that we might know of that might suit your need and what you want, we could potentially tell you about. So please fill that out in its entirety and write legibly if it's not electronic. Write legibly. The realtor doesn't want to be trying to figure out anybody's handwriting. Write legibly, or ask the realtor to write your information for you. That way, they can write the email address legibly. Maybe you know your handwriting is just not the best. Trying to think. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any other things right now. I'm trying to think of what other topics I can cover with you guys. Just be consistent and be, upfront with your agent. Never take them on a roller coaster ride and you don't have to. If your agent is following up with you and checking on you to find out what your status is on what you guys have last discussed and just growth and development with you, please respond to them. Even if you decided not to buy the house right now, or you just got family problems, please respond, because we are here for your best interest. And I know one thing that gets me is, if I've been consistent with you, just be consistent with me. If I follow up with you, please, I'm not saying you have to rush and answer me today. Maybe tomorrow it's the time that you can actually answer, but say, hey, I'm no longer in the market right now. I have a lot going on. I've had some people do that, and it's fine. I'll check back on them. But then I have some people who just ghost me, and I'm like, bro, what did I do? But sometimes it's just life happens, and not everybody communicates well enough. So communicate well enough with your realtor. Make their job easier, because they're going to make it easier for you. We don't want to be sending you a whole bunch of properties right now when you've told us that you're not looking for a home right now. So just keep us informed, and we'll keep you informed on what we find. What else? Yeah, just be great. So you guys know, I am Cralisa Victoria, your favorite realtor. Feel free to let me know if you guys are looking for a home. You guys know that I literally can help you no matter what state you are in. I can get you connected. I have a phenomenal referral system. It costs you $0 to get connected with me, for me to connect you. On this channel, when I refer to real estate stuff, it's only if you're looking to buy or sell or anything like that. I'm not going to be sitting here giving rundowns of what to do to become realtors and things like that. I'm not going to do that. If you want to do something bad enough, if this is a passion of yours, or you want to explore something, you're going to search it out yourself. You're going to figure it out. I sometimes have people on my media pages, and they're like, oh my goodness, you own this, or you do this, or you do this. Can you tell me exactly what you did? No. Because how I got there and what I did, I had to search it out. I had to explore it. I had to figure it out. I really wanted it. I was passionate. So I'm not going to just sit here and be feeding handouts and, you know, taking all of my time, because that's going to tell me that you really are not that interested in what you're asking about because you never did the research on your own. Everything that I've acquired, every hustle that I have, I've searched it out to a place where I've become better. So make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it's Cralisa Victoria, your favorite realtor. Follow me on Instagram at Cralisa Victoria. I will be, all my social media links will be below. I've been a little chilled off of social media other than my business pages because I've been just like really busy and life has been happening and I've been getting a lot done. So I'll see you beautiful people in the next video. Thanks so much for tuning in to Realtor Talk. See you guys later.
It's only 11 something.